Hey everyone, it's Aniki again. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a review, kind of a get ready with me with the Conspiracy palette. I don't know, I think I cleaned it off. Oh no, I didn't. So I've already had this, I've only had this for like a week or so, but there's like a little bit of a pink dye, and that came from one of the shadows inside the palette, which I was like upset by because it did dye a little bit and stain a little bit, and I transferred it on to this cover, which was so disappointing. But I also got it on the palette itself, which I was able to clean off, but since this is like a paper, it didn't work out so well for that. But as you can see, and I'm sure you've seen it in many a video already, palette by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Love the little logo right here, and then I love like how both of them are represented. Check out my ugly nails, but it's so cute. I love that. I love how they're like both like a part of this. Is like a true collab of two creators, which is great. Yeah, it's been a week, but as you've already seen, I've actually had the chance to play around with this a lot. I still haven't taken the plastic off the top, but look at how gorgeous those are. So pretty. And like I said with like the Tati palette, like in person it looks so much better, because I was kind of dreading this yellow food videos shade, but it's actually not as intimidating in person as I thought it would be. Trisha, though, is the one that stained. Stained my eyes, stained my fingers, and then I transferred that onto the outer sleeve. So that has a nice little pink stain on it. Sorry, it's been a second. I just got a message from one of my friends, and the tea is hot. So anyway, work tea, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and start dipping into Conspiracy. I just love these little like latches. It's super cute. Now I've played a lot with, oh no, I touched Trisha. It's going to stain. I need a wipe. Okay. Sorry. Looks like things are about to go down at the old Target. Okay. So I think I'm going to dip into the shade Root Beer, which is nice darker brown. I have been using Tanacon a lot, and I really hate to say that it's a really good shade. It's like one of the, I saw like a meme that said like Shane getting us all to love Tanacon. That's like the whole like plot twist this was what the whole series is about. Started with Tana, ending with Tana. Okay, so I'm just going to put that all over the crease. Oh my gosh, my phone just keeps blowing up. Shit's happening. It's so funny, like, when your work friends become like your life friends. There's so many people in my life that are like my true like friends who I love, and I've been there with them for like ups and downs, and we've been with each other during like the hard times. And sorry, got distracted. Sorry, we're just like a bunch of gossipy people. I should have just kept blending as I was like typing that out, but you know, what are you gonna do? Anyways, like I was saying, it's like crazy how your work family kind of becomes like your actual family. It's like your work friends become your real friends, become your family. Like, I kind of wanted to talk about how I got this palette, and the people that I'm texting right now was with me when I got it. We're like desk mates. We share like the same desk area. But it does have a little bit of fallout. I think I'm gonna go in with Pig next, with a slightly less fluffy, more compact brush. I don't know what this one is. It's like all this stuff's been like faded off of the brush. But so the Friday that this palette launched, I was at work and I'd set my alarm on my phone about 15 minutes before like the launch time, and it went off. I was like on the sales floor helping a guest in shoes, and my alarm went off and I was like, whoop. Luckily what the guest needed was like within eyesight, so I grabbed it really fast and I gave it to her and I was like, can I help you with anything else? She was like, oh no, I'm good, thanks sweetie. And then I was like, cool, bye. And I like rushed off the sales floor to go to my desk and sit down and wait for this palette. And so it's like 11:58 and I'm on Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And I'm sitting there, I see the Shane tab, and I'm super excited because like, oh my gosh, it's happening. I'm finally on time for launch, because every time like one of those mystery boxes comes out, I want to get one. Because, I mean, I love the lipsticks, I love the liquid like fuller lips, and I don't really care about the colors because I know that they're going to perform well, and I can use the color for anything. And whatever, like all the things are, you know, like I'll use them at some point in time. I just think it's fun opening like a mystery box, like a subscription box. You don't always know what's going to be in there, and it's kind of exciting. So like I always want one of those boxes. I never get there in time, or if I do, like I'm always like off an hour, like in my head. I forget to set a timer, and then like by the time I do sit down to get it, it's already sold out. So I'm super excited. Like I'm sitting here, it's 11:58, I got 2 minutes before this thing launches, and I'm on the website, I see it on the tab, I go to refresh, and like the things are there on his website, and I see the palette, and I literally, like, I don't want to be stingy, I don't want to be whatever, I'm just like, I want this palette, this is the only thing I truly want from this collection. There's other things I want, like I would love that pig mirror, those little side bags are adorable, and I would have loved like a black one. But I'm not going to be stingy. I'm not going to be stingy. I'm not going to try like to be super greedy. I just want this palette and I'm going to get it, is like what was in my head. So I see it, I put it in the bag, I go immediately to checkout, and I'm there and it crashes. The site crashes. So I'm like, oh. So I try to like refresh the page, and nothing happens, and I'm just like, what's going on? So I immediately just like switch gears and I hop over to the Morphe site. So like I'm in the Morphe site, I see it, I click on it, put it in the cart. It takes me to checkout. I'm there, I'm starting to put in my information, and it takes me to the next page and it crashes. So I flip back over to Jeffree's site, and that's when it has like that little, like disclaimer thing that says sorry about like the crash being down, we're working to fix it. And I'm just like, oh dear God. But I was able to refresh it, and I actually got back on to the page, which is weird. And I looked at my cart, and the palette was in my cart. So I went to go again to, like, I didn't get to like the Shane tab, but I was on the Jeffree Star Cosmetics website. So I went to the shopping cart, and the palette was in the cart. So I was like, I'm gonna try this. And I went to like check out again, crashed. Which is frustrating. So I hopped back, and I kind of wish that I had like my tablet and my phone there in that moment, so that I could just have them both like on Morphe, on Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and see like what's going on. So I switched back over to Morphe after it crashed the second time on Jeffree's site, and I saw it again, clicked on it, and somehow there were 2 palettes in my cart, and I was like, oh, that's great and all, but I don't need 2 palettes. I could have just like gone with it and tried to get it, I was like, no, I'm kind of cutting it a little much because I just bought like Tati's palette and I'm buying this palette and I spend way too much on things already, so my husband's gonna kill me. But I tried to like remove one of the palettes and it crashes. So I hop back over to Jeffrey's site and there are 2 palettes in that cart as well. And I'm like, what? So I'm trying to remove it, and as I was removing it, like everything just shut down on Jeffrey's site, which was like unfortunate. I finally got back to Morphe's website, removed one of the palettes, was able to check out, and it was like that little processing screen after I'd entered all my information. It was like processing for maybe like 15-20 minutes. Like, this is all in my lunch break, by the way. I have a 30-minute lunch and this is all happening in my lunch break. I don't think I ate. I think I had like maybe a granola bar in my desk and I ate that, and I had some water as I was waiting for this to happen. But like I was expecting something like this to happen. Not like a super crash, but I was expecting some sort of like wait time. But it took, I think it was closer to 20 minutes it took to process, because by the time it had processed and said your order has been placed and all of that good stuff, I had like 3 minutes before I had to clock back in for my lunch. But I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, is this not gonna happen? Am I gonna run out of time on my lunch? And like right before I had to clock back in, the order was processed. It took me like less than 30 minutes for like this whole ordeal that I went through. And then I went back on the sales floor, was living my life, all happy as can be. You know, fixing like signs, putting up some of the like, new Christmas stuff, getting like the holiday transition ready because we just came out of Halloween. We're going into like Thanksgiving, Christmas, so we have to like change those things up on the sales floor. In retail, like it happens so quickly. But I'm just like living my best life, and then I clock out for the day, like 3.5 hours later, go to pick up my husband from work, and he was like, so I tried to get you that Shane Dawson palette because I knew that you wanted it and I thought it'd be a nice gift, but the site kept crashing, and then I looked online and it was crashing for everyone, and apparently it still like crashed for a lot of people. And people have been waiting like 3 hours like in a queue for their palette. And first off, I was like, my husband, who thinks I spend way too much money on makeup already, was trying to buy me this palette. And he was like waiting to try to buy this palette too and couldn't do it while he was at work. And he's sad that he didn't get it for me, but I got it for myself. Which was really exciting. But like it was so sweet, like he was trying to get me the palette too, so I could have ended up with 2 palettes anyway. I think there was like a sign, like they were trying to tell me like, girl, he's trying to get you a palette too, but I'm glad like I kept going with it. I think this one's a little darker. But it was so sweet, and then like I had no idea, like I knew like it was probably going to be trouble because so many people were trying to flood these sites trying to get this palette and all this merchandise because it's like freaking cute. There's like purses and mirrors, and like the lipsticks are super cute. Like I don't think I want all of like the lipsticks, like the liquid lips from that collection, but just to have like the pig container that it all comes in would be super cute. But also I don't want to buy all of them just for that container. So if anyone's wanting to sell their little container, like hit me up. But like there are things that I really wanted, and I really wanted this, and I'm glad I got it. I think I can wait for like the other things a little bit later, but this I really, really wanted. And I was just kind of like in shock because I knew like again that it was going to be very kind of hectic with these websites and people just flooding all these servers, but at the same time I didn't realize people had been waiting like the whole time I was finishing like work to get these like things, and it kind of like blew me away that I was like suffering for 20 minutes. I was just like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get it? Am I not gonna get it? And then people were out here for 3 to 5 hours waiting to get the stuff that they wanted, and I was just like living my best life. And I feel like that sounds super braggy, but I was completely oblivious to like everything that was happening online because I had to go back to work. So I think it was like a minute or so before the Morphe site was like, your order has been processed, or whatever the heck it says. I almost gave up, and I was gonna like shut it down and just like get back to work, but I was like, oh, I'll just wait. Like I have 5 more minutes, I'll just wait. And like this last 2 minutes before it went through, so that's my little conspiracy palettes purchase story. Also, I kind of want to do something more. I feel like Morphe did not care about the packaging. Like it was packaged, it was safe, all of that, but it was like so like thoughtless. I don't know. Like their shipping of it was just like a big old Morphe box with a crap ton of bubble wrap, and the palette was just kind of like thrown in there. So like when you see Jeffrey's like shipping where it's like nicely like packaged, everything's like nice and neat in the little box, like Morphe did not give a fuck. They just threw that shit in there. They did not care. Oh, sorry, like this is the shade my ride's here, so it's like the black one, and it has like the little steering wheel, super cute. I don't know what I'm doing. Ugh, almost knocked over those brushes. I think I'm gonna go with this like flaming hot color and kind of go around the edge. So it's the same brush that I use for my rides here. I keep wanting to say Uber, which like that's not what it's called. But essentially Uber. Because that's what he gets, right? Like a black, I forgot what he calls it. Uber XL, whatever, and it's always like a black car that comes picks him up. Oh, and I'm just dipping into Flaming Hot. I don't know if I said that already, but first it was my ride's here, and then the flame. I don't know what to do like on the lid. I wish this was live. My leg just fell asleep. It hurts so much. Fuck. Oh god. I really don't know what to do next, because I want a shimmer. I literally went into all the mattes. I mean, not literally, there's some mattes I didn't use, okay? I want something shimmery. I don't want to use Trisha just because, like, I don't want to stain again. Sleep paralysis, which I've used a few times, actually. I heard my dog jumping in the tub. So to like shame us, our dogs, if they don't have enough water in their bowl, will jump in the bathtub because they know that's where water comes out too. And so the little one, the big one, hates being in the tub, so like he avoids it at all costs. But the little one, to like shame us, will jump in the bathtub. So they probably went to their bowl and it's out of water just now, and my husband's not paying attention to them. I heard the little pitter patter hop into the tub. I like that. So that is Sleep Paralysis, and I've dipped into this one several times. This little side of the stars already disappearing. And as you can see, I've used Tannicon quite a bit. It's like a little used. Probably doesn't help that I'm using like the view thingy. Alright, so I'm gonna do the rest of my face and I'll be back. This is me all done. I'm literally not going anywhere, so this is how I'm gonna be the rest of the day. My hair all crazy. But yeah, like this palette is amazing. Let me show you some of the other colors in here. This Illuminati is, I think, gonna be my favorite for the fall. So pretty. I still have that cut on my hand, by the way, so I gotta be careful not to. But it's absolutely gorgeous. And I paired it the other day when I was playing with the palette with Not a Fact, which is this like maroon, purpley maroon. Just so vintage. But those two together, oh, I crisscrossed them. Those two together I think are really pretty for the holidays. Let's see what other color. Color that they haven't shown a lot. I think a lot of these have been featured, but let's see. Conspiracy was another one that was really pretty, another shimmer. It's like a very pretty like green. Just like a really pretty green. You can't really pick it up with this lighting. Come on, light. And then what's the T? Actually, there's something on my fingers. I've only used this one once, but I thought that one was really pretty as well. It reminds me of like the shades in the Jawbreaker palette, so I might pair it with stuff that's in there. I'm just gonna try to avoid that little cut on my hand. But yeah, it's very pretty shades. And I feel like it's actually a really good palette to have. Like you have this top row right here, which is like your neutrals. You have like very nice things to kind of smoke it out and get a little sultry with it. And then you have some really fun pops of color, and I think Cheese Dust is actually one of my favorite shades. I've worn it multiple times, and a little goes a long way with that one. I've worn it probably the most out of everything in this palette, and if you can see, like nothing looks like it's been touched. But then you go into like Illuminati, Sleep Paralysis, and of course like these ones, they're not like the matte shades, so you're gonna go through them a little quicker. But as you can see, like Tannicon, it's on this side. Tannicon's kind of like smudged here at the bottom. Root Beer, Diet Root Beer, pardon me, is kind of like a little faded out. But that Cheese Dust that I've been using quite a bit, it's still like pretty. Like the little imprint is still pretty visible. But I think that one's my favorite out of all of these. It literally looks like cheese dust. I love it. But I think that's a nice little fall color as well. Yeah, I really like this one. I hadn't played with those colors as much. Like Flaming Hot, I was kind of afraid of just because reds stain, and if Trisha stained, like that one definitely was gonna stain. You know what? Trisha always gets a bad rap. She's actually a pretty cool person. Like, I know her personally or anything, but I enjoy her videos. She seems like a pretty cool person. Let's give her a chance. It definitely feels different than the rest of... It's still on my finger after swiping it like that. The formula feels a little different than the rest of them, but I think it's just because of how crazy pigmented, but like how stained my finger is. Gotta be careful with that one. Handle with caution. But it is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's a very pretty shade, but definitely use with caution. If you're gonna pack it onto your lid, just make sure like you lay something down, a primer or a base or something, just to like catch that staining, because like, yeah, my finger's gonna be stained. I'm really happy that I got this palette, and I'm just really excited because I'm a big fan of both Shane and Jeffree, and to get this collab of both of them. It was pretty cool, and I think they did a great job. I know like the whole series is basically a like what 7-8 hour commercial, but like if you're a fan of these people and you enjoy their content, like I think it was a great thing. And just marketing wise, it was pretty brilliant, because people who like I've talked to, they don't wear makeup, but they're like, that palette is legit and they want it. So their merch is pretty cool. So they were talking about different things, not just the makeup, some of the other things like the mirror, the purses, the bags, all of that stuff. So I think it was a brilliant business move, like whether you love or hate either one of these individuals that are part of this collab. I know there's some people that really hate one or the other or both, but I think they did an amazing thing, and it's something we might not see again for a while. But I think the business behind it, Jeffrey's like solid on, and he knows his product. So I just feel like as a business person that he does a fantastic job. And Shane, when he jumps into a project, he like jumps into a project and he puts his heart and soul into it, and you can see like the outcome of people who are passionate about what they're doing, whether it's something new they want to learn and try and just like learn more about it, or it's something that they've always been passionate about. Like, this is the outcome of dedicating yourself to something, and I think that's what we should take from this. Like, if you dedicate yourself to something, you can create something just huge. But that's all I have to say about that. I think this is a great palette. If you do get a chance to play with one, definitely play with one. I know they're not going to be back in stock until sometime next year, January. Next year sounds like a long time, but it's just a couple months. And we've waited for things longer than that before. But January is the next time if you didn't get it during the second launch. January, February-ish is what I think they were saying. Just because that yellow pigment, which honestly, I don't think I showed that one. This food videos, like nostalgia for Shane's older videos, is what this color is for. And I didn't like it at first, but like seeing it in person, it's probably not my, it's definitely not my favorite in the palette, but I think I can use that some way somehow in the future. But because of this shade, it's going to take a little while before they can produce more palettes. One of the ingredients in that shade is going to, I think they said their supplier, like they took all of their supply for up to 6 years. I thought they said 6 months at first, and someone corrected me 6 years, so damn. I don't know how much of that goes into it, but clearly enough that they're not going to be able to produce for a minute. But they said sometime early in 2020. Let me know what you think about this eye look in the comments below, and what do you think about the Conspiracy palette and all of the other Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star merchandise that launched recently. Did you get your hands on any of the products? Let me know, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.